The Mayor of London speaking in the last 20 or so minutes with that update. Let's talk to Piers Thompson, who lives very, very close to the block and has lived in this area for more than a decade. Piers, it's really good of you to talk to us, because I'm picking up already, only being here a couple of hours, how incredibly difficult it is for everybody here this morning. But to give people who perhaps don't even live in London a sense, you live in a low-rise block of flats, really almost at the foot of this tower.
Yeah, I live in one of the houses just behind us here, and I was woken up at about 1:15 by noises in the garden. I looked out, I thought it was someone breaking in next door, but I looked out the window and of course saw the fire, which at that point was just really in a corner down there, just bottom left, by where the school, you can see through past the school. And then in the next 15 or 20 minutes, it shot up that left-hand side, and it went up like a bonfire that was being lit on Guy Fawkes. That has recently been reclad, that building, and it used to be concrete moulded fluting, and so there's a gap on each corner between the right angle cladding and the indented fluting. So I think that acted as a chimney, because that fire it went up way quicker than it should do. I mean, the other thing is that cladding seemed to burn like paper, because once it had gone up the side of the building, it then started spreading laterally really quickly, and you could see people flashing their torches, flashing their phones. Someone had fairy lights, someone else was waving a blanket out the window. You could hear people shouting. It was totally disturbing.
It is hugely distressing to even hear that account, Piers, and it's very, very hard for any of us to stand here today and look at this building, because we know that people lost their life in that building, and we have to remember that at all times. And we have just heard from the Metropolitan Police that they have confirmed that 6 people have died. That is the latest that the London Police are telling us, and it's very, very difficult to look at that, because we know, and as someone who has lived here for more than a decade, well, I hope, first of all, Piers, is everybody you know safe?
Yes, I mean, there's a guy I work with very closely, the guy who actually wrote the blog that is going on the rounds about the fire safety. So the first thing I did was call him, and he got out by the skin of his teeth, but he's still in absolute shock. I believe that a lot of kids who go to that school, the Green Building, you can see over there, a lot of kids live in that tower block, and I'm very worried that my daughter's lost a friend in there who remains unaccounted for. There were a couple of kids that we thought might have perished have actually turned up, so there is hope.
I mean, it's hard to find positives at such a desperate time, but I have been so struck already by the huge number of people I have seen in all the different streets around here really helping out. I mean, there are people walking around, giving out water, giving away food. We're going to be talking to someone later. I know he says that they've opened up the local sports centre for people to go in, to get refreshments, to have a shower, and you can just sense that people are chatting to each other all the time and making lists and finding out who needs help. Give us your assessment. Describe what it's been like for you to live here, what sort of community it is.
It's a very tight-knit community, and ever since the local council, RBKC, published plans to regenerate this area, the community has gathered even closer together, because we've been having huge meetings to state our case and to work out how to protest about their plans to demolish the whole area. So what was already a close-knit community has been brought together even closer. There was also quite a euphoria around here at the election of Emma Coe, the Labour MP who took Kensington on Friday. And there was a fantastic feeling on the streets on Thursday, because we felt we were having our voice heard at last. I mean, one of the things that we have to complain about the council is we believe the council and the TMO have been really managing a decline in the social housing here to add justification to their plans to regenerate, which is another word for demolish, the whole area. So there are people who have been prophesying some catastrophe like this for some time.
Okay, I mean, what we really have to stress is we simply do not know. Nobody knows. The fire brigade doesn't know. No one knows yet what happened here. What we can say, because you saw it, is that it took hold very, very quickly, the fire. That is one thing that countless witnesses have been reporting.
There's no doubt the whole thing went up way too quickly for a block that has 500 people in it.
The cause of it was, yes, 500 people, as you say, Piers. Thank you so much. We hope that everybody you know and your daughter's friends are safe and sound. It's really good of you to talk to us as someone who's lived here a long time.
There's a Just Giving site. If you go onto Just Giving and look for Grenfell Tower, they're trying to raise, it started with 50 grand, but we're now looking to raise 500 grand because that is 130 households who've lost, if they haven't lost their lives, if they're lucky enough not to have lost their lives, they've lost literally everything. I think the immediate needs are met at the moment in the various centres, the Maxilla, the Lasper Christian Centre, the Westway Sports Centre.